All right, guys, how you feeling about this? How you feeling about this? Did I lose some weight here? You see the six-pack? Yeah, the little chest going on? All right, guys. Yeah, you know me by now, right? Pejman Gadimi here, back with Exotic Car Hacks, how to legally steal a car, part 2. You saw the video, 3 million views after I said these nuts on the first one with the same awesome white pants. I think they were white. Maybe, I'm not sure. I don't remember. But anyways, guys, you guys trolled me over almost 3 million views and a lot of trolls on there. And I get the biggest question all the time is, why do you care about the trolls? I freaking love trolls. They amuse me because they're 16-year-olds sitting at home in their basements looking at supercar videos and thinking their opinion matters. Welcome to the real world where you actually have to learn how to buy a supercar, actually be in the capacity to buy one for anyone to give a shit about your opinion. So this is why I said these nuts, part 2. Now here we are, guys, a good tip on how to legally steal a car. You saw my first video. A lot of you said you enjoyed the tip where I taught you a little bit about how to actually call a dealer, play one against another, and actually get the car of your dreams for a fraction of the cost right then and there, regardless of what type of car you are going to negotiate on. Today, we are going to answer the biggest question, which is, why would a dealer want to lose money on a car? That does not make any sense to a lot of people who have watched part 1 of this video and who have said, I understand how you're negotiating these cars down, but why would a dealer want to give it up? And let us talk a little bit about what we call floor plans. There is 2 types of floor plans in dealerships. There's a bank-owned floor plan and there's a private investor floor plan, or there is simply, I would say, a private investor being the owner himself's floor plan based on his own money. A dealer only has so much money he can allocate to his inventory. So if you have $10 million, you can only buy $10 million worth of inventory and keep recycling that money to make a profit with each sale. Every dealer does not make a profit with every car sale and never loses. Some dealers make bad decisions to either trade certain cars high, or they buy certain cars at more than they should, or the market crashes on them while they're holding certain cars. So if a dealer buys a Huracan, they're thinking they're going to be good, and all of a sudden the Huracan market drops and no one bought their car. Now they're almost either break even or upside down to their car right away. This gives you a unique opportunity to do what you call a dealer bailout. Go out there and actually find dealers who don't want certain cars and ultimately make them offers that are either at wholesale or below wholesale on cars that shouldn't be wholesale cars. In most cases, cars that end up in wholesale are usually cars that either A, people don't want, B, no one's checked, or C, ultimately the dealer can't afford to hold because they're not that type of car dealer. For example, a Lexus dealer trading in a Ferrari, an older one, they will do it to call the deal, but they need to move that deal out of there because it is not a car they may have an audience for. And so that is how opportunities get created in the dealer world. Floor plans, which are, at franchise dealerships, which are like Honda, Lexus, BMW, Mercedes, are financed ultimately by banks. So banks give dealers a certain amount of time to move inventory that is sitting on their lots. So it will give them, they will ultimately give them 90 days of very low interest on the inventory sitting there. And as the inventory moves over, they will go ahead and if it doesn't move over, they will go ahead and increase that interest rate. So it costs the dealer more money to keep that car on the lot. Now, this is why you'll also see a lot of 30, 60, 90-day correlation when it comes to dealerships handling anything from cars that move or don't move altogether. So you've heard me in my last video talk about 30, 60, and 90 days. What does that mean? Again, we heard that 90 days later, the bank steps in. But what happens within 90 days is much more than a bank. Because what happens is the market and the automotive market is always changing. And dealers are not just buying cars the way I teach you how to buy cars at Exotic Car Hacks, where you can actually drive a car for a year and then get out of it at no cost. Dealers are buying cars so they turn over inventory. And so they can make a profit with every car within the 90-day range, because every 90 days, the market could change, which is why a lot of dealerships struggle very hard if they're keeping cars over 90 days, because they believe that they're in a danger zone. If most dealers would buy older cars or cars that have history and have depreciated and are using the same strategies we use at Exotic Car Hacks, they could ultimately hold these cars forever and not worry. The problem becomes that the deal for a dealership is to turn over inventory and make a profit with every trade. Any trade that sits there 90 days is like saying you have $1 million sitting in the bank that's not earning you anything, and you're not doing anything with that $1 million. So you need to move inventory, and that gives opportunity to people like you and me to be able to step in and take inventory dealers don't want at a fraction of the cost of what it should cost for it to ultimately go to auction, not pay auction fees, not deal with dealer wholesale, and allow them to get out of it with a retail deal that could show some legitimately small profit or break even, so that they've already made their profit on their previous car. Dealers are willing to work with you and me, which is why I'm able to buy cars like this beautiful NSX or this McLaren 570S at a fraction of the cost, regardless that they're new, regardless that they're slightly new, regardless that they're newer or that they're older 2003s, 2005s. It does not make a difference. Dealerships all over the country are under floor plans, regardless if it's their own money or other financier money. It is under a floor plan and requires that floor plan to see action. This is where you can legally steal a car by understanding and forecasting its next value going forward. When you anticipate what a car could be worth in 12 months based on some of the strategies and algorithms I teach you in my course at exoticcarhacks.com, then you're able to understand exactly where you need to buy that car to be in a better position. This is ultimately the best way to understand how you can position yourself to buy the car today at what it's going to be worth in 12 months and ultimately drive up the mileage to what you need to do. This may seem like rocket science, and I may need to sit here and tell you that, listen, this is all about legally stealing car, but reality is this is just good business strategy by understanding what assets are going to depreciate to and what they're worth once they've hit that bottom value of depreciation. So I wanted you to understand this concept because many of you who have watched my first video have kind of gotten confused about what does it really mean to legally steal a car. If you are able to buy an exotic car for $100,000 and finance it and then sell it for $105,000 a year later, then technically you've made $5,000, even if you've had some interest on the loan you've particularly had to buy that car. It does not matter. There's a trick to every aspect of the automotive world, and I am here to teach you these tricks at Exotic Car Hacks, as well as 10 plus years of experience getting in and out of exotics and understanding how to actually hack my way into all these different models based on depreciation algorithms, based on cost of maintenance hacks, and also based on just simply business and financial understanding of how things work in America, in Canada, in the UK, and in most of these first world countries. So if you want to get into an exotic car in the next 90 days, please subscribe to this channel and also absolutely take my free training by following the link below. It's 1 hour. It will teach you everything you need to understand about this methodology versus a 10-minute video. And please stop trolling my videos, because while you think you're enjoying the troll, I enjoy it a lot more than you, and it distracts me a lot more, and it forces me to say, these nuts. I'll catch you guys next time on another exoticcarhacks.com. And again, remember, subscribe right now, not near my nuts, on the extra subscribe button. And feel free to definitely follow me on Instagram at iCreateMillionaire or on Instagram at exoticcarhacks. And of course, take my training. See you guys next time.